Hey guys, welcome back. This is By the Book, and we are your married relationship coaches. We are talking about Steve and Noy from Married at First Sight, season 14, episode 14. Babe, take it away.
Steve Noy, and they are driving on their way to the couples retreat. It's supposed to be a time when they're going to be bonding, they're supposed to be having fun, and a conversation breaks out between the two. So from there, baby, fill us in on that conversation.
Okay, so this is all about social media. Noy's tendency to post things on social media. Steve has an issue with her posting things that he believes are negative and directed toward him or relate to their relationship. He's a private guy. He doesn't want those things on social media. He doesn't want his family seeing those things and maybe questioning him about it, I suppose. Noy, on the other hand, is telling him that it's not about him or them, but that she just posts things that she likes to post on social media, and that's her business.
So they have a issue because there's no resolution. You know, she feels one way and he feels another way, and this is definitely a new age issue. You know, younger people are experiencing this a whole lot more than what the older people are. Mm-hmm. And so here we are. Who's right? Who's wrong? What should they do to get some type of resolution? So let's do a little role play to where I'll be Steve for a hot second. I don't want to be. And I'll let my wife be Noy, but please don't be too annoying as as we do this. So anyway, all right. So let's kick it off.
You just called me annoying.
Y'all heard that? I would never. Mm-hmm. I said don't be too.
Come on, Steve.
Anyway, baby. The post that you made. You know, I'm still having some issues with it. And because you seem to think that it's okay for you to post that, and I keep giving you reasons why it's not okay. So can we just meet in the middle and just say that you're not going to be making any type of post about our relationship or anything that seems relationship-y, you know, on your social media?
How is that meeting in the middle? You're telling me not to post things on my social media page. And first of all, we've addressed this before, and I told you that this didn't have anything to do with you or with us. Mm-hmm. I just post things that I like on my social media page, and I don't think that anybody should tell me what to or what not to put on my social media page.
Well, I can understand that, especially when you were single, but now you're not single anymore. You're in a relationship. You're in a marriage. And the things that you do affect me, and the things that I do affect you. And so when people see, especially my family, see things that you post, they're gonna, you know, probably jump to the conclusion that it's something going on with us. As a matter of fact, I was getting phone calls from some of my family members wondering if everything was okay. And so if we can leave things private, especially relationship stuff, I think that would help our relationship.
But that's your family's problem. I mean, if you know that it's not about you, then why don't you just tell them, oh, this isn't about me. My wife likes to post things on social media.
Well, I'm not so sure that it's not about me, because even when you said that it wasn't about me, you said that you still feel some of those things about me as well. So maybe not when you hit that send button it was about me, but at some point in time it was about me.
But the post wasn't about you. Just because I feel a certain type of way about things later on in our relationship doesn't mean that post was about you. Mm-hmm. At that time, I post something that I think, that's kind of a general post. Like if you feel like, the moment that you feel like something's not enough for you, then it isn't. That's like an inspirational quote. Mm-hmm. That doesn't have anything to do with you or us. Mm-hmm. That's a quote I like.
That's a quote that you like. But what if that quote and you posting it, what if it, like I said, it hurts me? Does that matter to you?
Why does it hurt you? If I told you it didn't have anything to do with us.
But you also said that it makes that you feel that way about me sometimes.
Well, that's a private conversation for us to have together then about us.
Mm-hmm. So if it's a private conversation we need to have, we probably shouldn't do a public post either then. Right?
But the post wasn't about you at the time when I posted it. It had nothing to do with you. So it's not a public conversation. We're having a private conversation. If you want to have that conversation with me now, then you can. I feel like it's not enough that you don't have a job.
You gotta come up. You gotta do the job with it. Okay. All right. Cut. All right. So there it is. That was a long way around with us, kind of like being like me being Steve and my wife being like Noy. And so, as you can see, there was no resolution to that whole conversation. Neither one was really willing to back down off of their viewpoints and their perspectives. And so, when you have that, you had an impasse. And so, both people are gonna walk away kind of like feeling, wow, ugh, ouch, you know. And so that's what they kind of like did. So, babe, what do you think? First of all, what do you think Noy could have done to kind of like help the situation as far as the relationship?
I mean, I don't know if in that moment in the car there was much that she could have done. The issue is a few-fold, okay? Number one, they've had the conversation before, and I think if I were in her position, it would annoy me that I told you it wasn't about you, and then you continue to insist that it was. That would irritate me out of the gate. And so I understand her position on that. Number two, and when we were watching, I was telling you about this, it seemed like he kept pressing, and I kept saying he needs to let that conversation stop. Yeah. Because there's no more productivity to be had in that conversation. All he's going to do is continue to try to back her into a corner, and she's not the type to just like fold. So she's going to come out swinging, and that's going to make the whole situation worse. Like, you got to know when to be quiet, and he wouldn't be quiet. He wanted a resolution to that because he's kind of a conflict resolution type of person. Yes. So he wants an immediate resolution. Let's kill this situation now so going forward we don't have to deal with it. Noy is like, I'm done talking. Okay? I said what I said. And I don't want to say no more. Yeah. So that was just a very clear demonstration of their personality differences. I think, and if I'm Steve in that situation, I would have been so off-put by that. It would have pushed me strongly in the direction of no, because, I mean, I would have been like, I don't see a path when she's this stubborn about an issue. Now, I fall in the middle as far as my opinion goes on this issue. I'm not full on Noy's side, but I probably lean much farther to her side than you do, because I can understand posting something on social media that doesn't necessarily pertain to your life specifically. And so if I were to post something kind of ambiguous or that somebody could interpret one way or another, and you were like, take that down, I would be like, I put this on my social media page. I'm about to block you. Like, I'm just playing. I wouldn't block you, but I feel like I would be a little defensive of what I chose to post, because I would think that I chose wisely what I put and what I don't put on my social media page, and I wouldn't want to be policed as far as what I choose to put on my social media page. So I do understand her in that. For him, I think because they're new, and we did talk a little bit about this as well, him not knowing her, not knowing where that trust lies, it's hard for him to be convinced that that post wasn't about him. And I do understand that as well, because, you know, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck, you know. Yeah. So it's tough. It's tough. And I'd love to hear from you guys, you know, what you think. If you think that post was about him, or if it wasn't about him. Or if you think it's inappropriate for her to be posted at all. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air for me.
Yeah. Again, yeah, they are new. And everything is so condensed in that relationship. I mean, because they got 8 weeks to try to decide if they want to stay married or not. And so for several weeks, they've been living like a married couple, but they're still kind of strangers. They're trying to figure each other out. And so, again, that trust level, it's not there. And so how about this? while we're trying to figure out who, or I'm trying to figure out who you are as a person, and you're trying to figure out me as a person, and then at the same time, we're trying to figure out who we are and what we are as a couple, you know, and learn each other families and all of this different type of stuff. How about we kind of just chill a little bit on whatever is kind of rubbing the other person the wrong way, or could be offensive or misunderstood, any of those different type of things. Start to listen to your partner a little bit. And it's not saying that she's wrong or he's right or vice versa. It's just, let me listen to my partner, you know, just a little bit, because he doesn't know me and she doesn't know him. And so let's just listen and kind of like work with one another within those boundaries a little bit.
I feel like she doesn't feel the work with portion. And I'll tell you why. And we're not going to talk about this for too long. We're going to get out of here in just a minute.
Yeah.
But to just sum it all up, I honestly feel like she feels like she's sacrificing the most. He doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to do all the household chores. They've talked about that. They've argued about that a little bit. It's still not really clear what direction that's going to go in. It doesn't seem like there's been a resolution to his work situation. So that's something that she wanted to change. That's something she wanted from him. He didn't give it. So far as we can tell, he didn't give it. He hasn't gotten a job. He hasn't made a clear-cut plan for them or when he'll get a job, et cetera, et cetera. And so the sacrifice on his part, she doesn't see. There was something else that she wanted from him, and I can't quite remember what it was. But point being, I feel like
she wanted him to sleep in the bed with the dog, and he did it.
I forgot all about that. No, there was something else, because you know, it was the job thing, and then there was also one additional thing that she was asking of him, not just to clean up after the dog. I think he agreed on the kids thing. But that's something that's not actively happening right now. So anyway, I'll just leave it at the employment thing and the income thing. She has an issue with that, and that's a very fundamental issue for her. And so in him not sacrificing or making her feel comfortable in that, now that he's asking her to do something for him, she's giving him pushback. If he was working, or if he was like, you know what, I'm gonna apply for jobs right now, let's get started, and then they had this discussion, I think her tune would have been a little bit different with him. But that's how it works. Like you just said, let's work this out. We're working this out as a team. This and that. She doesn't feel like a team. She not even ready to move in with him.
Yeah.
So you could tell like there's a disconnect between them as a couple.
Yes. And
I think that it truly, truly starts with her discomfort with where he is. Work-wise.
Yes, definitely, and we've already discussed this in a previous video. You know, for her, she wants to see him go to work every day. You know, and no matter probably how much money he could be sitting on, it doesn't matter. That's not her level of comfort or security. She wants to see him doing a 9 to 5 or whatever, and that's security for her. And so, could she kind of sway a little bit? I mean, because he said on the after party show that when Keisha told him that if he had $40,000 in the bank, that it would be okay with it. And so he said, "Oh, she don't have anything to worry about."
Yeah.
And so he obviously he had some type of nest egg, So how much time could that buy him as far as it being okay with her?
None, because she wants him to work. She wants to see him work like she's working. And if not, then she probably doesn't want to be working. But she may not even feel comfortable not working because of her history. So, I mean, they got a few big ticket issues to work out before decision day.
They do.
But I really think that her resistance, her stubbornness stems from that work situation. If that could resolve, then she probably would be like, fine, I won't post anything on social media. Yeah, they would be perfectly fine, but here we are.
Yeah. I don't know. When I look at them, I you're right. I do sway a little bit more on Steve, even though he's unemployed right now. But I do see someone who's a little bit more mature and willing and able to handle, some relationship issues. It doesn't seem like Noi is equipped. She just seems very immature. She seems very immature at her approach and in her discussion and all of those different type of things. She's not willing to compromise. He had to sleep in the bed with the dog. There was no compromise. He had to submit to wanting to have 3 kids. There's no compromise. And so there's no discussion on a lot of things with her. It has to be this way. And whereas he's really trying to work it out and trying to understand her perspective, she ain't really trying to work it out or understand his perspective.
Not until he gets a job.
I hope that job is going to be the cure-all, because if it's not, then it's just going to be something else.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, guys, let us know what you think about the social media issue, even the job issue. We still have that unresolved. And if Steve and Noi will make it on decision day, let us know your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.